Alrighty guys, it's Seppo here, back at it again with another vlog, and today we're back in Finland. We got back from the States a couple days ago and we are here in the woods again, and I'm about to play around and you guys are gonna get to do it with me. So, in the last vlog I asked what you guys want me to do. A lot of different suggestions came up. A lot of you guys want to know more about my technique and me explaining it. And more specifically, a lot of you wanted to know how I throw my putters and mids. Well, today we're gonna be throwing only putters and mids, so you're gonna get a good look on that, and I'm gonna explain a little bit about my thought process on those shots and what comes to the technique on those. Let's get to it. We're on hole 1 at my very home course, only about 2 minutes away. My own designed course, really great for exactly what I love, and that is throwing putters and mids. So here it is, hole 1, we're about to get it. So obviously we gotta start from the grip. I use the same grip for putters and mids, and it is like this. I have my middle finger here supporting in the bottom, and I have my index finger kind of like not tucked under the edge, but slightly over the edge with the last knuckle here. And my pinky and ring finger are here tucked in the bottom like that. So all these holes are pretty short. I won't be throwing full power. I'll be throwing putters and mids, but I'll be explaining throughout the round, you know, things here and there. But let's get it. Okay, so we are on hole 3 right now. This is 65 meters, so for me, especially when we're playing in the woods, when I feel like throwing mids and putters is especially important, I feel like accuracy over distance is obviously the main thing. So for me, I like to have my feet set up quite straight towards the line I want to throw into. So if that's my line, I don't like to have my left foot too far behind here, because then I'm lined up to the right, to the left of my goal. I always like to have my feet in a pretty straight line towards my goal, with my left leg just a little bit off the line to the left, to the right of my line. And also that means that my run-up is going to be quite straight towards my goal. So my run-up is going to be something like this. Okay, so that's the main thing. And then what comes to the pull has to be straight also. We cannot have our disc back here, because if we start the pull from here and we turn our torso, the disc, our body comes in front of the pulling line. So that means that we're gonna have to do rounding around our body. So we want to set the disc somewhere around here, so it's in the straight line and our body won't be on the way. So especially when we're playing in the woods, or even also on the open, you know, the wind might be this way or the gap might be that way. So we want to release the disc sometimes in a certain angle. You know, sometimes we want to go for an overstable disc, release it in an anhyzer so we can get that crazy flex. Or sometimes we want to go for an understable disc, release it in a hyzer so we can get that crazy hyzer flip at the end. So how do you get these different angles? Well, it's not your wrist. It might be a little bit of that, but I really don't like to think so. You really have to make the angles with your body. So we have a straight gap here. The basket is actually to the left at the end. Well, we can attack this so many different ways. So we're gonna start off from an overstable disc. We're gonna go with an A2 and we're gonna give it that anhyzer. We basically wanna pull the disc the same way every time in comparison to our body. So it might be different to some of you, but it's somewhere around here like this. But to get a different angle, we pull the same way, but we just change our body angle. So now the angle of the disc has changed. It looks a bit like this. I'm gonna go for my beat up PA3 for the hyzer flip or the hyzer release. So how do we get the hyzer release is that we pull the same way, but we just put our body weight a little bit more on top of the disc, so the angle of the disc changes. And you can see the hyzer flip at the end. Okay, and then we still have to throw the flat shot, which I'm gonna be doing with my new Team Platinum M3 400G plastic. These will soon be available, so stay tuned. So flat shot, obviously, we wanna pull the disc flat. So we're gonna have to find that good balance of where is the flat angle for our body. And it's pretty straight, where it's not gonna be dead straight like a stick like this, but it's gonna be pretty flat like that. And that's still a brand new M3, so it has some fade, but the release was flat. So that's how you get the different angles. So especially when we're playing in the woods and we're throwing a lot of our putters and mids, we really want to pay attention more on the accuracy than distance. So this week we covered how to line up, at least my way. That's how I line up for my shot, and that's how you might want to line up for yours, or at least give it a try. And then how you do the angles, I guarantee that's how 99% of disc golf pros do their angles as well. They do not do it with their wrist, so they do it with their body, so make sure you try that out too. One of these weeks we might get deeper into how to get those discs farther, mids and putters or even drivers. I do throw them slightly differently, so we might get into that a little bit, but this week we covered the accuracy part. I want to thank you all for watching. I love you all. I'll see you guys next week.